and is exhibiting at the Buy Local and Expo. Connie, thank you. Now, African regulators of a credit rating are gathered in Lusaka, Zambia's capital, looking at the continent's credit rating sector. This is also in line with the African Union's desire to establish the continent's credit rating entity as opposed to depending on external institutions. Arthur Davis Sekopo reports from Lusaka that about 20 African countries are part of the meeting.
They are gathering with the sole purpose of bettering the continent as regards economic matters are concerned. And credit rating is one fundamental aspect they are focusing on. Expert delegates around credit rating from over 20 countries have been brought together in Lusaka to deliberate on the enhancement and regulation of credit rating standards that will shape the future of Africa's economic landscape. This is the third meeting of the African Network of National Regulators of credit rating agencies and is being spearheaded by the African Peer Review Mechanism, APRM, working together with the United Nations Economic Commission for Africa, ECA. Dr. Mabridge Nkalamba is the Acting Director of Governance and Specialized Reporting from the African Union under the APRM.
The fact that we have three international credit rating agencies, Standards and Poor's, Fitch and Moody's, that operate and provide rating services on the continent, but they do so under regulation from outside the continent, the jurisdiction of this continent. And the APRM, as mandated by the African Union, is bringing together member states, countries, to discuss on whether we should have our own regulatory framework, and if we are to have our own regulatory framework, how should that framework look like, in considering that we are operating in the same market, broadly speaking, that's Africa.
According to the Chief of Section Innovative Finance and Capital Markets at the United Nations Economic Commission for Africa, ECA, Sonia Esomaj, the meeting is also set to address a number of issues that includes the establishment of the Africa Credit Rating Agency, ACRA, which would provide alternative credit ratings.
Basically, there are a couple of issues. One being that currently we do not have a harmonized regulatory framework when it comes to credit rating. And this is also one of the reasons why we have decided to create that network of regulators so that they can learn from each other and they can also, try to harmonize the rules and regulations.
The ECA sees Africa's credit rating agency as a set to offer balanced and comprehensive opinions of African credit instruments, supporting affordable access to capital and development of domestic financial markets.
So at the end of this meeting, what we want is to have a few operational working groups. We have already identified critical issues we want regulators to work on. One being, of course, rules and regulations. The second one being the creation of new credit rating agencies. And the third one being, how they can better oversee the credit rating industry.
And Dr. Mabridge Nkalamba from the APRM is optimistic that Africa is headed in the right direction with the planned establishment of its own credit rating facility, as opposed to depending on external ones.
And we believe that in time, it's imminent that we will definitely have a much more significant stake of the global capital market. And we cannot achieve that if we are not paying attention to the critical question of how that sector is regulated and the actors in that sector are regulated. That includes both domestic and international actors.
Among countries participating includes host Zambia, South Africa, Malawi, Kenya, Ethiopia, Uganda, Ghana, among others. Reporting for Channel Africa in Lusaka, Zambia, I'm Arthur Davis, Scopo.
Africa in Business on Channel Africa.
It's a Tuesday and you're listening to Channel Africa. From the upside, I'm joined in studio now by your favorite Shayla. Shayla, what can we look forward to in the next couple of hours?
All right. Firstly, topics of the hookah.
Shayla.
From the business update through to here on shows. Absolutely love that. Didn't know you were this versatile, sir.
I work here.
You excuse me. Okay. All right. So on the show, in the very first hour, we're looking at decolonizing Africa's business studies curricula. Now, one